Welcome to Game News for June 22nd, 2013. I'm Chris, this is Grover.
Dude!
This is Mike.
Hello.
And it's officially summer, I can believe it too. I'm sweating like Hog Miser's underpants. And a point of discussion for quite a while is if the next-gen games are actually going to get a price hike from previous generations due to the crazy amount of finances and work that goes into the high-end games these days. But both Microsoft and Sony have come forward separately to confirm that the old standby of $60 remains. However, this is not what made the major news this week. The Navy Times, an independent military magazine, bashed Microsoft and its Xbox One for all of the policies that will screw over servicemen the world over. Because of the forced internet nudge every 24 hours, it means a dead brick to many who are stationed in areas without internet, or worse yet, that the Xbox One will only be supported in 21 countries presently, including many areas in Asia and the Middle East where a good number of military are actually stationed. Not to mention the whole region locking on top of this. The article went on to join the bandwagon, blasting the camera microphone attachments of the Kinect being potential security risks, especially in an era where we're already having the whole thing with the U.S. government and the PRISM program, though Microsoft has repeatedly dissuaded any dangers of the system being able to spy on anyone without the user's knowledge. However, a few days after the story broke, whether it was related or not, Microsoft hung their heads and gave into the barrage of bad press. That's right, for the second time, consumers won out over Microsoft's policy and things have changed. Don Matrick posted on Xbox blog posts that gamers spoke and they're listening, so 2 more of the system deal breakers or no more. Players will be able to share and resell their physical copies of the game any way they like, and even more importantly to a world of gamers, that 24-hour check DRM BS, yes I added some letters there, is no more. So you will be able to play your offline games offline without worrying of your system going dark. And just to cap off the good news, they've also lifted the region locks. So one Xbox One will play all Xbox One games. However, there's signs that the damage of this operations will change the way the games are going to be played, is that they are going to be required to be in the tray, removing a lot of that instant gaming the Xbox One was bragging about, as well as that family sharing plan that lets multiple users share one copy of the game, which does make a bit of sense, seeing as that the lack of a DRM program that they were using would allow these 2 features to make pirating a lot more possible. And maybe it was the military's reaction, maybe it was their defeat by Sony at E3, maybe it's just the avalanche of blogs and forums and vlogs and other posts and comments blasting the Xbox One for the policies alone, but it's good to still see some reason. It's probably all of the above, to be honest. Now, if consumers will trust them again after this, who knows? But all of the negative publicity apparently hasn't hurt them too much, as GameStop had to stop taking pre-orders for launch day Xbox One because they capped out on their limit for the systems already.
Here's an almost ironic story that broke just a little before the Xbox turnaround. Remember Adam Orth? He's the Microsoft director who made certain comments earlier this year after challenging gamers to #deal with it on Twitter in regards to Microsoft's always online policy. He actually now runs a consulting agency called Orth Nation and will be speaking in this year's GDC in November. His talks will be on mob rules, the destructive power of opinion, and online community, including why he left Microsoft after this scandal and how developers can build on the online community through more positive means like unicorns and rainbows. Irony indeed.
Yeah. Perfect man for the job. Maybe he's the devil's advocate in the conversation. I don't know. Another positive note, this time for the 360. Games with Gold promotion for Xbox Live started early, even before its launch in July, where we'll be giving out the 2 free games every month that they talked about at E3 for Xbox Live Gold accounts, starting with Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. But yes, you heard right. You get about a week until June 30th to snatch up a free downloadable copy of Fable 3. But PS3 had a serious issue with the 4.45 firmware update that was locking down some users' consoles. Sony quickly removed the update from being downloadable, and at last word are working hard on fixing the unforeseen issue and should be working order by June 27th. No word on exactly what they're going to do about the malfunctioning PS3s, which are effectively bricks at the moment.
It's a good thing to fix in my, PlayStation, that they basically broke.
I would hope they're going to replace them. Yeah.
And one more story about the 2 big new systems. Pre-orders for both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One Day 1 systems at Amazon, or at least their game divisions, gave them their biggest pre-order week in history. According to Amazon, at one point during the week, people were ordering more than 2,500 systems per minute. And they also said that the pre-orders had racked up twice the numbers of all the 2012 Black Friday game sales from Amazon. People are excited about the next generation, as they always are. I mean, I've never not been excited about the next generation, even though it is console. That's almost, man, that sounds kind of PC fanboy. I'm actually sorry I said that. The other systems, I gotta get back to it. I am getting a PlayStation 3. We've already come to that determined in this household. It's kind of gonna be all 3 of ours. We're all chipping in.
Oh, good.
Fight like siblings over the console.
Hey! And you'll have something else to watch Netflix on.
Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition has been taken down from Beamdog and the Apple App Store after some contractual issues came up with the publishing partner on the deal. Until the situation is cleared up, the game's newest patch and the Android release has been put on hold. This also means a big delay on their revamp of Baldur's Gate 2 as well, but Overhaul Games are hard at work to get things cleared up and everything back on track.
Curious. And IO Interactive, a subsidiary of Square Enix, famous for the Hitman games, has axed several projects and laid off half of its staff, concentrate its Denmark studio on exclusively the next AAA Hitman game. Always a dangerous move, though, because if the game fails, this will probably be the end of IO Interactive. And meanwhile, EA has also added another 20 folks to that ongoing list of layoffs that they've been claiming was to prepare for the next-gen era of game developing and publishing.
Twitch TV ran into a major caching issue with their web CDN partner that took them down Friday night. They had to go to a bit of extremes to resolve the issue, though, clearing a lot of the memory in the cache, which included passwords and stream keys for all accounts. I know, because I'm still like Adam. Bad time for the streamers, but it could have been a lot worse because we could all have been hacked and it could be hell on earth like PlayStation 3's issue a couple of years ago. All of your accounts, follows, and the rest are still pretty much working without reset or loss. It makes everybody wonder if there wasn't a hacking situation that they aren't talking about, which we're kind of wondering about. I don't believe that their system that gives out stream keys is working correctly because I can't get my damn stream key to be able to do uploads right now, so I can't use my Twitch counter until this is fixed.
Yeah, the weekend was a bad time for that to happen because that's usually
very
when
bad.
Everybody pops in to do everything.
I imagine Lethal Frag is pissed because he's trying to do his 2-year thing.
Now, some of the partners, they may get back a little sooner than others.
Oh yeah, they probably got their keys delivered to them by mail or something.
And KMM Interactive got a bolster from the Australian government to the tune of $200,000 to help in the building of L.A. Noire creator Team Bondi's latest outing, Horror of the Orient. Lovely name. But it's the adventures of 1930s Shanghai and is looking for a 2015 release. It sounds weird to say that. KMM Interactive's, it's not plural. One more time. KMM Interactive bought the Australian Team Bondi and its assets during some turbulent times just after L.A. Noire's 2011 release. Another team in Australia created by ex-Team Bondi members called Intuitive Games Studios also got $30,000 in assistance from the government for their own new unnamed detective game.
Batman's new outing in Arkham Origins has been swimming in controversies between Rocksteady Studios not being involved, classic Batman voice actor Kevin Conroy not being hired to voice Batman, and gameplay accused of being copy-pasted, which personally I think Arkham City was great, so why mess with something that's not broken? But the second claim is that it's actually a step backward from Arkham City. Warner Brother Games Montreal creative director Eric Holmes told GameSpot that people have the right to be cynical, but he wants players to give the game a chance. Play it for yourself when it arrives, and he believes they'll prove naysayers very wrong.
Now see, that's a guy that says you have a right to be cynical. Everybody else tends to do what like Twitch does and says, calm down people, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to placate the internet.
The disc version of Minecraft Xbox 360 edition launched over a month ago, and records are showing it is currently the fastest selling console game in the United States. And what was the Minecraft creator Notch's reaction quote? No. So apparently the physical disc version of Minecraft Xbox 360 edition has been out in stores for several days. Had no idea. The digital Xbox 360 version has already sold over 6 million units since its launch this time last year. It's also sold over 10 million in the paid dollars for the Pocket Edition, and the long-standing PC and Mac versions are making 11 million plus. Not too shabby at all. They are arguably becoming one of the best-selling games ever. Is it beating the original Super Mario Brothers yet?
27 million? It very well could have, yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Good luck defeating Call of Duty. That is a different monster entirely, but still.
Ugh.
And speaking of them, while Infinity Ward debates in its office whether to kill off the dog character that travels with the lead in the new Call of Duty Ghosts, their bosses at Activision is looking heavier into merchandising as it's signing deals to market Skylanders everywhere. Stationery, greeting cards, shoes, bedding, soaps, and yes, of course, a Skylanders Monopoly game.
Back to more controversies. The open-world zombie game, WarZ, has had no small share of problems between false advertising, glitches, the company's boss making comments that just should not be made, a forum and database hacking incident, and of course, accusations of shameless plagiarizing. It's still battling troubles as it lost its battle with the trademarking name, likely having issues with both the game it's been accused of ripping off, which would be DayZ, as well as potential trouble with World War Z, the book that is getting a movie adaptation just a few weeks, actually. War Z is now being renamed and branded as Infestation Survivor Stories. Probably still not worth playing.
That's kind of weak. Nvidia's foray into the handheld market through their new Nvidia Shield hasn't quite launched yet, but after hearing feedback from the community, they've shaved $50 off of its original suggested price tag to the new $300. It's still $50 more than a PS Vita and $100 more than the 3DS, so they will have an uphill battle to deal with. The system does have access to Steam, which is going to be a big selling point itself, especially depending on how it actually runs. If it has its own like special Steam content, or if you can play the majority of Steam games that will run on that system right off there. That's pretty cool. And Linden Labs open world go anywhere, do anything squeaky door.
Someone was coming in, I had to wave him off.
That's fine. Linden Labs open world go anywhere, do anything, be anything sandbox of craziness. Second Life is celebrating its 10th anniversary on June 23rd. Probably one of the most dividing games in history.
Surgeon Simulator 2013 was an indie hit, and damn, the game is just hilarious. Well, if you have the game on Steam, you'll now be able to download a free new version that features the medic from Team Fortress 2 performing surgery on the TF2's Heavy. Goofy antics will insert once again. Thank you, Brain, for letting me speak.
And over there at Operation Rainfall, they clued us in to a look at Nippon Ichi's brand new title, Battle Princess of Arcadia, which is made by the folks behind Ragnarok Tactics and looks to have a lot in common with games like Vanillaware's Muramasa and Otosphere. So it's kind of a nice change of pace from the company that's usual foray of tactical and niche RPGs. And lastly, while we've recently heard that BlazBlue is getting an animated adaptation, Hyperdimensional Neptunia, you know, that kooky universe where video game consoles are anime girls? Well, that begins with an anime premiere in mid-July, and that is game news for June 22nd, 2013. Ah, it's so hot.
You don't have your air on?
There's only so much you can do.
We got Brain, thank you so much.
You got brains.
Central Air, it's fantastic, because, I had an old air conditioner at the other house. It is glorious.
It doesn't pay me enough. Yes, but anyway.
Don't say that too loud.
Yes.
She'll throw you.
I will get slayed. But yeah, we'll see you all next time for our Game News Spectacular, whatever that is.
Goodbye.
See you later.